Okay, so here we are once again in my living room with the terrible lighting that I'll go ahead and apologize for again, even though it never changes. Past that now. I'm sorry that I lied to all of you. It's been like 2 months since I posted a video, and either in the last video or the one before that maybe, I said that I was going to get a lot more consistent with posting content. Not that probably many of you really care that much, but anyway, yeah, I lied. Life gets in the way, things happen, lots of stuff's been going on, and I apologize for that if anybody out there has actually been anticipating watching any of this crap. But moving forward, some ridiculous things have happened in the last couple of months. Some really ridiculous things happened in the last couple of weeks, but in the last couple of months I've started fishing tournaments. I've fished 3 tournaments so far this season, not including state challenges. That's something completely different, but fished 3 tournaments. I'll put together some compilation footage or something of those to show you kind of how those went. And outside of that, I went to a really crazy place that I hadn't fished before, and some really crazy stuff happened. So let's get this first thing out of the way. The latest edition of Hey, You Weren't Supposed to Eat That. Wow. Okay. Massive bowfin. Jesus Murphy. Wow. Oh my God. Look, bud, you're gonna have to let me do this. Oh my God. That is a gigantic bowfin. Oh my God, this thing is huge. This thing is fat. Let go. Get out of here, brah. Jesus Murphy. So that was definitely the biggest mudfish that I've ever caught in my life, bar none. And it was a pretty crazy experience. I mean, it was funny because he bit before I actually hooked him. On like a couple of casts before that, I felt it, and I knew it was a mudfish because you can feel how hard the inside of their mouth is when they bite something and they don't get hooked. So I was anticipating it, kind of, but I wasn't anticipating that. So after that, basically I moved around this place in a very small area of this lake because I didn't know it, and and I just kind of wanted to see if I could drum up some bites where I was, because the conditions seemed not so great but not so bad at the same time. It was windy, and I was on the wind-blown side of the lake, so there was a lot of like really dirty water. There were a lot of places where the water looked like chocolate milk, and I was throwing a spinnerbait around. I would find areas where it was completely socked in with hydrilla, and it would be like a big open area with little patches here and there, but you had open water predominantly. And I would let the wind kind of blow me through those, or I used my stakeout pole like you saw when I caught the mudfish, or I just let the wind blow me up against the hydrilla and I just sit in one spot. But fishing those open areas with sparse vegetation around in comparison to what was around it, again, it was completely like socked in areas, and then there'd just be a big open bay, so to speak, and like some patches of hydrilla here and there, submerged too. None of it was really emergent, maybe one or two patches here and there, but the water was really dirty. And I was throwing a spinnerbait that I will talk about in a little while, and it worked out pretty well for me. So check out what went down. Just going to show you a little bit of the footage of what I was doing, and then you're going to see something pretty nice. Hydrilla gorilla, baby. Whoa, man. Hydrilla gorilla. Don't think you're gonna go over. Oh, yeah. He almost jumped back in the boat. $11.8. No cameras on. Oh my god, no cameras on for this one. 11.8. Jesus Murphy. That is a massive fish. Oh my god. I don't even know if I can fit this on the bump board. Oh my god. 11.8. Does it even fit on the bump board? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Put your tail down, sweetheart. Please put your tail down. Oh, Lord. 25 3/4. Jesus Christ. Look at this fish. I know the camera's on a crazy angle right now, but look at this fish. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh wow. All right, sweetheart. Okay. No cameras on for this friggin' catch. You gotta be kidding me. This fish jumped. It was crazy. This is absolutely my new PB. 11.8. .25 3/4 inches. Absolutely my new PB. 11.8, 25 3/4 inches. She's just absolutely massive. Oh my God, man. That is crazy. Sweetie, you ready to go? Yeah. Oh my God, that's insane. So as you probably figured out, the cameras were off when I actually caught the fish, which is incredibly depressing. But I hadn't gotten bit in a while, and I was still repeating that same process of like fan casting those open areas around patches that I was talking about, because there's a lot of grass in this lake, like a lot of grass. Most of the area that I fished was nothing but grass, and I was just fishing those open areas like I've been talking about. So I was throwing a spinnerbait, and I'm not even sure I want to talk about it. It's not a secret. It's made by Lucky Strike, and it's actually designed by Rick Clunn. And now I've seen video of him speaking about it, and he doesn't really talk about it all that much. He even says that he doesn't really talk about it all that much, kind of on purpose. The deal with it is it's called the Trickster, and it's got a specially designed blade that's kind of like a combination between like a willow leaf and an Indiana, if that makes any sense. It's kind of the shape of an Indiana, but it's like the length of a willow leaf, so it's a little bit thinner than a normal Indiana blade would be, and it casts a lot better in the wind, which is a lot of the time when you want to be throwing a spinnerbait, right? You want to be throwing a spinnerbait in windy conditions, especially if the water's dirty like it was where I was fishing. So I basically saw a video of Rick Clunn talking about this spinnerbait, doing a seminar actually, and I decided to pick a couple up, and I'm really glad that I did. I was throwing a chatterbait early in the day, and I ended up catching a wind knot, and there must have been an abraded spot in my line, and it caught and just broke the line, and the chatterbait went sailing off. So I lost the chatterbait pretty early in the day and switched over to that spinnerbait, which was not my intent originally. Originally I planned on throwing a chatterbait all day long. I also tossed around a big 6.8 inch Kayak, which got like no action, I'm guessing, even though it displaces a lot of water just because the water was so dirty. But anyway, that's what happened. That fish was 11 pounds and 4 ounces. That's my PB, for dang sure. So it is Florida, and hopefully I'll have the opportunity to top that experience sooner than later. Hopefully the cameras will be rolling when I do, so I'll get to share that with all of you in more of a manner than just bringing the fish into the boat and turning the cameras on, because let's be perfectly honest, it would have been pretty cool to see that fish get caught. It ran under the boat like 3 or 4 times. It jumped from pretty far away. It was a pretty long cast, and I could tell that it was massive even for how far away that it jumped, and I really wish that I had gotten that on video. But things happen, and like I said, I hadn't really been getting bit too much, so I kind of just turned the cameras off and was saving the battery in case something started to happen. It did. I screwed up. Sorry. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. I appreciate you sticking with me this long. Until then, take it easy. Peace.
Easily unsettling, constantly meddling, breaking the bank of knowledge, incessantly betting on a horse with no name and